Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to do a 20-month update on my first FUE procedure. I can't believe just how quickly time has gone by, and I just kind of wanted to show you guys a up-close view of how it's looking, and so I'll just get right into it. So I'm actually obviously outdoors. A lot of the videos that I have been doing were usually indoors just because I was a little bit lazy. But in today's video, there's going to be good lighting. As you guys can see, everything's pretty crystal clear, and you guys will be able to see an up-close view of how the hairline is progressing at month 20. So it's almost approached my 2-year mark, and I'm getting ready for a second procedure. But without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look. So here is the left temporal region. As you guys can see, this is probably my worst because I am under extreme lighting conditions, and you guys can see how how the hairline is looking up close. A lot of the doctors and a lot of the people who has undergone a hair transplant, it's not going to be as honest and as up close as what I'm doing right now, but here's how it looks. Here's the right side, and obviously I need more density, and that's one of the main reasons why I'm going in for a second procedure. The hairline also has a lot of multi-grafts, and it just looks pluggy. The triangular points right there, I think the doctor did a decent job. I do see some single grafts, especially in the front portion. And the angles of the hairs are somewhat a lot better than the actual hairline. The right side here isn't so much the case. This is where the hair has actually been kinky for forever, and it seems to just have pretty much stayed, kinky and wiry. And one of the issues using donor hair, although it's resistant to DHT for the most part, is the fact that it's a lot more coarse. It's not going to be as natural. It's not going to be, it's not going to have the same characteristics as the frontal hairline. So that's why it's a lot thicker, and that's why it actually grows a lot quicker than the rest of the hair. As you guys can see, the sides right there on the right side kind of stick out, and it's a lot kinky. But at a distance, you guys won't even be able to tell, and that's what a lot of the doctors do. They don't really show you up close, because a lot of the doctors have a hard time recreating a natural looking hairline. So even in my case, you guys might look at some of my videos, especially when I'm indoors where the lighting is a lot, I guess not as bright as the outdoors. You guys can see even right now that the density isn't quite there, and it gives the see-through appearance, especially on the hairline. So here's how it looks. I just wanted to show you guys exactly how everything's looking. Let me go ahead and see if I can show you guys the crown area. Now I did notice, I don't want to say it's a bald spot, maybe a little bit of thinning on the crown area, but that might also be because of the fact that I'm growing out my hair, and that's where kind of like the hair splits. It's kind of like females where, if you're growing out your frontal or your rest of the hair and you kind of split it right in the center, you can kind of see your scalp. So hopefully it's not thinning on my crown area. That would really suck. But, after the wedding, I'm actually going to shave down my head to how I did before, using like number 1 or 2 clipper. And I don't think I'm going to be able to see the scalp or the the back portion, the crown area. But yeah, here's how it's looking. I am still taking Finasteride 1 milligram per day. I am still taking Biotin 1000, I think it's micro mcg. I'm also taking pumpkin oil, Minoxidil with derma rolling. I do that about once or twice a week. I don't do the laser helmet because I just find that Finasteride and Minoxidil and derma rolling already does a good job of maintaining the hairs. And I also, what else do I do? Yeah, I use Nizoral once a week, and I'm actually trying out a Korean version of a Biotin type of shampoo where it's actually sulfate free. You don't want to add in too much chemicals and damage your hair follicles. But so far so good. But yeah. Now a lot of you guys have been asking me about side effects of Finasteride. I don't have any side effects. It's been over a year, almost 2 years now, since I've started taking Finasteride. There's no, there's no side effects that I can think of. I've just been taking it daily, and everything's just been normal. There's no sexual dysfunction. There's no low libido. I don't have, breast enlargement or testicular pain or anything like that. So I think in my case, and the majority of the people who are taking Finasteride aren't going to experience any side effects. If you guys do end up getting an FUE or an FUT procedure, it's pretty much mandatory that you guys take Finasteride after your procedure, because if you get a hair transplant, there's no point in not taking Finasteride, because you're going to continue for the most part to lose hair. And it's just, if you, like in my case, if I were to stop taking Finasteride right now, I'm going to start receding further back. So the hairs that were implanted are going to stay, but the original hairline, I don't know if you guys can see here, but right there where it starts getting a lot darker, right back there is where the original hairline is. I've actually lowered it about 1 centimeter on both sides, also on the temporal regions. And so what's going to happen is if you guys do end up stop taking Finasteride, or if you guys don't take it at all, the transplanted hairs are going to stay there, but your original hairline is going to retreat. It's going to continue to recede. So it pretty much defeats the purpose of getting a hair transplant, because you're going to have to go back and get another procedure just to fill in the areas where your original hairline was. So if you guys do end up getting one, I would advise to consult with your doctor, and I would recommend and encourage you guys to take Finasteride. If you guys are afraid of side effects, you guys can start at a lower dosage. The recommended dosage for hair loss is 1 milligram per day. You guys can try 1 milligram every 2 or 3 days, or you guys can even lower the dosage to 0.5 milligrams. There's some studies that show that 0.5 milligrams is almost if not just as effective as 1 milligram. And there's people that are taking 5 milligrams of Proscar, which is the name brand for Finasteride, and the majority of them don't have side effects. So 1 milligram per day, in my case, I don't have any side effects, and the majority of the people that do take it should not have to experience any side effects. But here's one last view of the hair. I think, it looks pretty decent, but I just want to show you guys up close. So the number one thing, make sure to get single grafts reinforced into the frontal hairline, and then reinforce that with multi-grafts, because if you have multi-grafts, like in my case, for somebody that doesn't really know too much about hairlines or hair transplants, might take a look at my hairline and be like, oh, Hairliciously, you have such a good hairline, you had a good hair transplant. I'm not saying that it was a bad hair transplant, but what I'm saying is that in order for a hairline to look natural, doctors have to use single grafts in the front. And what happened was a lot of the technicians actually implanted the incorrect number of grafts or the type of grafts into my hairline, which resulted in this pluggy looking appearance. So hopefully later this year I will be able to go back to South Korea and get my second hair transplant and fill in the density, lower just a little bit, lower the temporal points on both sides, and then make the hairline just a little bit more straight. And hopefully it's gonna look a lot more natural, and I'm gonna be a lot more satisfied and pleased with the results. So here's my 20-month update. If you guys have any questions, please make sure to subscribe, like this video. If you guys are interested in derma rolling, make sure to check the link below. Studies show that derma rolling does promote hair growth, and at the minimum, if you guys are not going to use Finasteride, I would recommend using Minoxidil or Rogaine, and then derma roll about 2 to 3 times a week. You guys can find all of that information on my website. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Take care.